Okay, this section is on factoring. And basically, factoring is undoing multiplying binomials. So if you think about it, I'm going to give you what looked like your answer in the last section, and we're going to come back to 2 sets of parentheses as our final answer. So we're just doing it all backwards. So we're undoing the binomial multiplication. So let's go with that. Now, just like multiplying binomials, a binomial means that there's two terms, right? So this is a binomial because there's one term x, one term -3, okay? So we're going to take these trinomials, or these 3 parts, and we're going to break them into 2 binomials, or 2 parts. Now, factoring is done in a lot of different ways. A lot of people have their own tricks to how you factor. This is how I factor. Step 1, multiply A and C. Now, you get A and C because if you have something that's squared, x squared, you can write it as ax squared plus bx plus c. That's called the standard form of a quadratic equation. So in this case, a, the number in front of x squared, is a 1, b is -11, and c is 18. When you multiply a and c here, you have 1 times 18, and that's 18. Okay? Then you're going to build a t-chart. So we need 2 numbers. We need to find 2 numbers that will multiply to that number we just found, 18, and that add to b, -11. Okay? Now, numbers that multiply to 18, 1 and 18. That will never add to -11. 2 and 9. Well, 2 and 9 will add to +11, so that's close. I'm going to make it a -2 and a -9 because -2 times -9 is still +18, but it adds to -11, so that works. So what I have now is I build my 2 binomials, put x in the front, and then put these 2 numbers beside. So you have -2 and -9. Now the last step is to divide by a. Our a value is 1. If I divide -2 by 1 and -9 by 1, nothing changes. So the factors of this quadratic are x minus 2 and x minus 9. Okay, let's do that same process. So here I have ax squared plus bx plus c. A is 1, b is 1, c is -56. So first, multiply a times c, so 1 times -56 is -56. Now build your chart. So we need 2 numbers that will multiply to -56 and add to b, which is a 1. So if I start thinking of things that multiply to 56, I know that 8 and 7 will multiply to +56. I need one of those to be a negative, so then multiply to -56. But if I take -8 plus 7, that gives me a -1, which is not quite right. So I'm going to make it a +8 times a -7. That will multiply to -56, and it will add to +1, so that's it. So now I build my 2 binomials, put the x's first, and then put those numbers I just found, a +8 and a -7. The last step, divide by a. In our case, a is 1 again. If I divide by 1, nothing changes. So my factors are x plus 8 and x minus 7. All right, 29. 4x squared minus 9. There's kind of a trick to this one. You could do the exact same process we just did, recognizing that you're missing the middle term. So if you have ax squared plus bx plus c, you have a is 4 and you were given c is -9, but you're missing this middle term that's just the x. So you can do the same process, multiply 4 and -9, find 2 numbers that multiply to 36 and add to 0. Or there's kind of a trick, and it's called the difference of 2 squares. If you have a difference and you recognize that both terms are perfect squares, so the square root of 9 is 3, that's a whole number. then you can automatically say that your answer is going to be each of those square rooted, one with a plus and one with a minus. The square root of 4 is 2. The square root of x squared is x. The square root of 9 is 3. And then you have the same thing subtracted. And so you would get it the same way. So let me show you how to do it if you make b 0. So first we multiply a and c. So 4 times negative 9 is negative 36. Okay, build a t-chart. So I need two numbers that multiply to negative 36 and add to 0. 6 and negative 6 will work. So I have x plus 6, x minus 6. Your last step is divide by a. Our a is 4. Now, that will change things. So what do you do when you can divide? And it will change. You're going to simplify the fractions, and then you're going to do what's called kickback. So 6 over 4 will simplify to 3 over 2. And then you cannot have a fraction when you factor, so you're going to take the denominator and kick it back in front of the x. So really we have 2x plus 3 and 2x minus 3, which is the same thing we got if we recognize that it was a difference of two perfect squares. All right, last question, number 30. 1, you're going to multiply a times c. 3 times 2 is 6. Then you're going to build a t-chart. Two numbers that will multiply to 6 and add to negative 5. I know that that's negative 6 and positive 1. Oh, no, that doesn't work because that would give you a negative 6, right? So doesn't work. I know 2 and 3 will multiply to positive 6, but add to positive 5. But negative times negative will give you positive 6 and add to negative 5, so that works. So build your two binomials, x minus 2, x minus 3. Last step, divide by a, which is 3. Then simplify and kick back. Well, 2/3 doesn't simplify, so I'm going to kick back. So I have 3x minus 2. 3 over 3 does simplify to negative 1. So those are my factors.